Hi guys, I hope that you're all doing really well. So today I wanted to talk about some of the best fragrance releases of 2025 so far. Now, I am like shocked with how many new releases that there are already in 2025. I think there's somewhere around like 6,000 new releases already in 2025, which is just insane to me. And personally, I don't know how you guys feel about this, and I would love to know how you feel in the comments, but I personally think it's too much. And I'm finding it hard to keep up with the fragrance industry at the moment. Like every day there's a new brand, every day there's hundreds of new fragrance releases, and it just feels like a lot. And I know that I review fragrances and I come on here and I talk about new stuff, and I know that I'm a part of that kind of problem. But I just feel like we don't need to have that many fragrance releases. We don't need to have that many new brands. And I think personally, like according to the numbers, it's because the fragrance industry is exploding and people know that they can make money in this industry. So that's why we are kind of here with an overwhelming amount of new fragrances and an overwhelming amount of new brands. It's because of money. So just to put it simply like that, people know that they can make a lot of money from creating a brand, from releasing more fragrances. And yeah, so that was kind of a rant, but basically today I wanted to talk about some of my favorite new releases that I personally have in my collection. Some of them were purchased, some of them were sent to me, but I have tried a lot of the new releases this year, whether it was at the airport or at malls, etc. And there are definitely a lot that I have loved, that I've tried, but I haven't purchased them myself. Like I really liked a couple of new designer releases. I really liked the two new flankers from Mugler for Angel and Alien. I really liked both of them. I'm not sure I will buy them yet, but I did really enjoy them. There's also some new fragrances from Chopard that were quite nice. There are so many new releases, you guys, but I have tried a lot. Nothing really blew my mind in terms of creativity and quality, etc. But a lot of fragrances smelled really good. So anyways, without further ado, I wanted to talk about some fragrances today that I got into my collection and I really feel like they are great new releases. So let's talk about it. I'm gonna get this one out the way. I know that I did an entire video about this fragrance because I really wanted to put you guys onto this scent immediately. This is Fétiche La Rose from Louboutin. Here is the bottle. And yeah, so I made an entire video about this scent because if you didn't watch it, Pierre, when I wore this fragrance, had the most insane reaction to this fragrance. I have never ever experienced that from him. He told me like it's the sexiest fragrance he's ever smelled on me. Like this is the best perfume I've ever smelled on you. For women, this is crazy, etc. Like he went really crazy for this scent. And this fragrance is created by Quentin Biche, who for some reason is just so good at creating commercial hits. Quentin Biche has a talent when it comes to creating a successful scent. And Fétiche La Rose, I'm sure a lot of you guys will like this one. Does it mean everyone will like it? No, so please do not blind buy the scent. Please do not blind buy any fragrance, but I do feel like this has a really catchy commercial DNA in the best way possible. So what you're getting with this scent is a beautiful, warm, spicy, plush, sweet, addictive rose fragrance. The rose in here is not traditional. It's that more appealing commercial rose, and it has a lot of sweetness in here. You have some cherry, but it's quite a dark, rich, almost like a nutty, sweet, syrupy cherry in here. And then you have that beautiful pink pepper and ginger on the top, which brings this kind of warm, spicy kick. So it is absolutely incredible, really, really addictive. You guys know that at the moment I'm wearing clean fragrances, fresh fragrances, etc. But when I want something sweeter, oh my gosh, I'm always pulling for La Rose. And especially if I'm going on a date with Pierre, like of course I'm going to wear this one. Or if I'm going out and I want to get noticed, I want to get complimented, and I want people to think that I smell really addictive and sexy, that's when I'm pulling for Fétiche La Rose. So incredible scent. Something I was also really impressed with is the longevity and projection of this fragrance. Now, I know for a lot of people that really matters when they're considering to buy a scent. They want it to last and project. You have no issues with longevity and projection with Fétiche La Rose. For me, this fragrance lasts about 8 hours on my skin, and I can smell it in my hair. If I don't wash my hair for like 1 to 2 days, I can smell the scent in my hair that entire time. So definitely long lasting, really appealing DNA, very, very sexy and sweet. Definitely recommend this one, Fétiche La Rose. One of my new favorites, and I have tried the other fragrances from the Fétiche collection and I really enjoy them too. I loved the Amber, the Iris, I have the Cuir, and I also really like that one. However, it dries down to be quite a smoky, suede-y, leathery scent, and I wish the kind of fruity aspect lasted longer in the Le Cuir. So that's my only comment with that scent. That's why I prefer the La Rose. I just got this fragrance like 2-3 days ago, and guys, I am sure this will become probably the bestseller from BDK. This is the new release called Impadia or Impadia. Guys, this is another commercial hit for this brand. BDK, I feel like for a long time, have been trying to create a scent to overtake Gris Charnel. And in my eyes, Gris Charnel cannot be beaten. It is such a beautiful fragrance. It's one of my favorite fragrances still to this day, even though I don't wear it a lot anymore. But then I smelled Impadia the other day, and I immediately knew this will be his new bestseller. I am sure you guys, this one is going to become really popular in the community because once again, it has a super catchy, really appealing DNA. Now, I have seen some people say that this reminds them of Delina and Guidance if they had a baby. And I can see that comparison. I will be totally honest with you guys. When I sprayed this fragrance, it reminded me a bit of Guidance. There is something catchy in there that does remind you slightly of Guidance. Of course, there are a few notes in common, like there is pear in here, there is sandalwood in here, and there is akigala wood in here, which are all notes that are in Guidance. And personally, I do see not a dupe, they're not the same fragrance whatsoever. But if you know the Guidance DNA, you might feel a touch of that in Impadia. So what I get with this scent is a lot of rose, but it's a really soft and smooth rose with a lot of sandalwood. So it feels really creamy and really smooth. I absolutely pick up the pear in here, like this kind of, I don't even know if there is pear in here actually. I absolutely pick up like a pear note in here, especially in the opening. You get this kind of fresh, watery pear note. And I also get a really sweet, kind of soft sweetness throughout the entire wear. This fragrance is a lot sweeter than I was expecting. I once again, I saw some comments, I saw some things on Sniff, and a lot of people said that it's very fresh. To me, this fragrance does have a freshness, absolutely, but to me, it's actually quite sweet. So keep that in mind if you're kind of looking at this fragrance. It does absolutely have an addictive sweetness in this scent. I think you also have some praline in there. And when I wore it on my skin, I noticed in the dry down that kind of akigala wood signature base. You absolutely feel it in the dry down. So I would say this is a sweet, addictive, creamy rose with that little bit of pear, a little bit of something woody. It is absolutely fantastic. And like I said, there is something very catchy about this DNA, and I am sure that this one will be a hit. So Impadia from BDK Parfums. First impressions is that I absolutely love it. I've worn it twice since owning it, which just tells you that I really like this scent a lot. Another fragrance that I absolutely love, I was sent this product and I actually did a campaign with Glossier for this fragrance, which I was really excited about because Glossier is a really big brand and I personally really like the brand. So this is Glossier U Fleur. Now, to me, this has actually become my favorite fragrance from Glossier. I have all three of them. I bought the original U when I was in Mexico City, actually, because I couldn't find it in Dubai. So when I traveled to Mexico, I bought it while I was there. And I like the original Glossier U, but I've heard from multiple people that it has been reformulated, so it's not as good as it used to be. And I personally never got the chance to try the original Glossier U. So I was kind of, I don't know, I was kind of neutral about the scent Glossier U. I like it, but I didn't think it was the best in that skin scent category. But then they released Glossier U Fleur, and I really love this one, you guys. Glossier U Fleur is still a skin scent. Like, you still have that signature Glossier U skin scent that the brand is known for. But here it feels a lot more creamy, balmy, and you also have some florals in here. You have ylang ylang and osmanthus, and to me, you absolutely feel the osmanthus in here. It gives it like a slightly apricot-y character to the scent, but then it's mixed with this really musky, creamy, skin-like quality, and there's also a slight saltiness going on in this scent. You have that kind of like you've been swimming in the ocean and you kind of smell your skin after you've been in the sea, and you can kind of smell like a salty skin vibe. That is what you get in this scent, mixed with that osmanthus and this kind of creamy vibe. It is really, really nice, you guys. I absolutely love it, and I think this will come with me on summer vacation this year because it does have something that reminds me of the summertime, which I absolutely adore. So for me, this was a really nice release from the brand, and I personally love it. Is it going to be for everyone? Probably not, but personally, I really enjoy this one, and it's my favorite from Glossier. So a fragrance that I bought a couple of weeks ago and I absolutely love is Blanche Absolu from Byredo. Now, this is sticking with that soapy, clean, just like fresh out of the shower vibe. I absolutely love this, and it might be honestly one of the cleanest fragrances in my entire collection. This is very aldehydic, but in a smooth way. You have some neroli in here, musk, I don't know what else. There's a bunch of things in this fragrance, but to me, this really, like, it is literally the scent of pure cleanliness to me. I really love this fragrance. I do not regret purchasing it at all. I think it's fantastic. When I want something very clean, very soapy, just pure cleanliness, I'm reaching for Blanche. And I found the longevity and projection to be actually really good on this one. For me, I would say I get around 7 hours of really good wear, give or take, with a nice projection as well. So definitely a scent for all of you clean girls out there. If you want something very soapy and clean, you're going to love Blanche Absolu. So the next fragrances are from the Gucci Alchemist Garden collection, and I have the 3 new releases. Now, a lot of people in the fragrance community got sent these products, but if I was not sent them, I swear to you guys, I would have purchased them. Like, absolutely, because they are fantastic. And to me, they are some of the best releases of the year by far. I was really impressed with every single one of the fragrances. So let's quickly go through them. As you guys know, if you watch my videos, I've been talking a lot about Fiori di Neroli because to me, it is truly one of the smoothest, most beautiful Neroli fragrances that I've tried. This is, oh my gosh, like, it's really stunning. This is a very beautiful, very smooth, bitter, green, fresh floral scent that feels ultra smooth and luxurious. I don't know how they did it, but this fragrance is just perfection. Like, you really feel that photorealistic, like, orange blossom neroli vibe here. It is absolutely stunning. It reminds me of a luxury Italian vacation, and it is just absolutely stunning. Another fragrance that might come with me on summer vacation this year because I love it so much. It's clean, it's fresh, it's smooth, it's bitter, it's green. It is absolutely incredible, and Pierre also loves this fragrance. This is one that we actually share together, and I love it so much. Longevity and projection is also not too bad, probably around the 6 to 7 hour mark, but the fragrance is just beautiful. So definitely recommend this one. Then there is Vanilla Firenze, which I'll show you guys the bottle. This fragrance, honestly, is one of the most luxurious, high quality smelling vanilla fragrances I have ever tried. This is absolutely incredible. What you have in Vanilla Firenze is of course vanilla, which feels very, very rich and just a really smooth, not overly sweet vanilla. You also have a lot of orris root, so it feels quite powdery, a little bit earthy, very buttery and rounded. And then you also have myrrh, so it brings almost a slight chocolatey facet, like a warm balsamic chocolatey facet to the scent as well. Altogether, like I said, this just smells like the most luxurious vanilla I've ever tried. Like a vanilla for somebody who loves luxury. That is what this scent is, and it is incredible. The longevity and projection is amazing on my skin. This one lasts around, I would say, 8+ hours on my skin with a really good projection. It just smells beautiful. If you are a fan of vanilla and you're a fan of like orris or iris fragrances, please try Vanilla Firenze. I think you will absolutely love this one. It is gorgeous. And finally, we have the Osmanthus. So this is called Osmanthus Nectar. And this is a beautiful Osmanthus fragrance, you guys. Absolutely amazing. And this actually reminds me a little bit, just a little bit, of Amouage Sunshine. So if you ever bought Sunshine off of my recommendation and you fell in love with it, please try Osmanthus Nectar because you might love this one too. This is a punchy, fruity Osmanthus scent with a creamy sandalwood, and it feels very, very addictive, very smooth, very rich. There is something very, very captivating about Osmanthus Nectar. It is quite sweet though. I do want to reiterate that it is quite a sweet scent, so keep that in mind, but it is incredible. You have that really addictive Osmanthus vibe, so it smells very apricot-y in its character, and then you have, I don't know, like this warm, creamy sandalwood, and it's just amazing. If you like Neroli, orange blossom type of scents, you will love the Fiori di Neroli. If you love vanilla, you will love the Vanilla Firenze. And if you love Amouage Sunshine, this Osmanthus vibe, you will love Osmanthus Nectar. Next up is a fragrance that when I smelled it for the first time, my face lit up because there is something very, very happy and just good vibes about this scent. This is Lactonic from Scentologia. Now, I remember smelling this fragrance before it was released, and I told the people, I was like, this one is gonna go crazy online, because to me, if I can simplify it for you guys, this smells like a niche version of Sol de Janeiro Cheirosa 62 and 71. Like, it really has that character to the scent. This is pistachio, coconut, milky notes. It is absolutely incredible. So if, I want to say it now, if you love Sol de Janeiro number 62 and 71, but you were looking for more of a kind of luxurious version of that and something that actually lasts a long time on the skin, you need to check out Lactonic. And if you guys watch my videos, you know that I love number 62. And to me, that fragrance gives me such an emotional feeling inside of me, and I cannot explain why. It just kind of reminds me of my childhood, happiness, summer in Australia. It makes me feel very emotional and very happy and very comforted. So this fragrance does exactly that for me as well, because it has that really similar DNA to Sol de Janeiro, and it just makes me so happy. This is creamy and nutty and coconutty and fluffy, pure summer bliss in a bottle to me, this scent, and I absolutely love it. And like I said, it lasts a lot longer than the Sol de Janeiro fragrances. So if you were looking for that type of scent, but you wanted something that actually lasts a long time, definitely check out Lactonic. And once again, you guys know I'm not really into gourmand fragrances right now, but this is something I can make an exception for because I love that summer Sol de Janeiro DNA, especially in the summertime. It's something that really brings me joy, and so I cannot wait to wear this fragrance more. I only recently got it, but I've had a small sample of it for a long time, and I've been so excited for them to release this scent because it is absolutely amazing, and I'm sure a lot of you guys will love it if you like Sol de Janeiro. I have spoken about this fragrance quite a lot on my channel already, but I have to reiterate that I just love this scent so much, and I would love more of you guys to try it. This is the Chloé Atelier des Fleurs Orchidee de Minuit. It's probably my favorite from this new collection that came out, And this fragrance is just so addictive and very sexy. This is a floral fragrance, but it feels very boozy and buttery and almost waxy in a way on the skin. You have as well some resins in here. You have benzoin, lots of vanilla, and a boozy note. So it just comes together and creates this really alluring and intoxicating scent. And I am completely in love with this fragrance. This is another one. I don't think I can take this on vacation because the bottle is very heavy, but I would love to wear this on a summer night out in Europe. I feel like this fragrance would be perfection in that situation because it's very buttery and balmy and sweet, intoxicating and boozy, and I just love it so much. So this is definitely a fragrance that I recommend to you guys if you were looking for something like that. I think you will really enjoy this fragrance, and the longevity and projection is really good on this scent on my skin. I get around, I would say, 8 hours or so with a decent projection. And I love layering this one with Alien from Mugler. That combination is fire, you guys, like so good. Next up is a new release from Guerlain, and this fragrance I recently got within the last few days. I wore this fragrance last night. I was actually wearing this top right here, and I can smell it on the top right now, and it smells incredible. This is Ambre Samar from Guerlain. This fragrance is fantastic. If you are looking for an amber fragrance that is spicy, it has a little bit of that Coca-Cola amber vibe, you are going to love this fragrance. I have a feeling that a lot of people will enjoy this fragrance, maybe more men because it's quite spicy, it's quite ambery, but it is absolutely amazing, you guys. It has that amberiness, but you also feel a little bit of that kind of powdery bitter almond vibe as well. And in the opening, you definitely feel that really spicy kick from some cardamom. Amazing fragrance. I need to spend more time with this one, but immediately when I smelled this, I was like, wow. I will make sure to report back to you guys, but when I wore it last night, I fell in love with this scent. This is an incredible amber fragrance, more on the spicy side, but wow, is it incredible in my opinion. And I love this collection from Guerlain. I feel like most people only talk about the Art of Materials collection from Guerlain, which is very beautiful, but people are sleeping on this collection from Guerlain. Like, I also love a fragrance from them called Rose Amira, which is a beautiful, very dark, rich plush rose. And there is a couple of others that I love from this collection, but I feel like more people should try this collection from Guerlain because it's a little bit cheaper, and the fragrances are just beautiful. Next up is a fragrance from Dior, and it is Bois Talisman. Now, I feel like I haven't seen too many people talk about this scent, and I also haven't seen very positive reactions to this fragrance. I think that this fragrance is really good from Dior. Is it the best fragrance from this collection? Probably not, but I think it is a fantastic release, and hence why I'm including it in this video. And I also feel like Francis Kurkdjian, since he moved to Dior, I feel like he's getting a lot of hate from people, and I think people should give him a break because I really like this fragrance, Bois Talisman. When I smelled it for the first time at the department store, I immediately was like, oh yes, like I really like this. I kept the tester strip with me and I smelled it throughout the day and I loved it. I also sprayed it on the back of my hand so that I could test it. And personally, I fell in love with Bois Talisman. So I don't understand the Francis Kurkdjian slander that goes on, but I think that Bois Talisman is a really, really great scent. So what you're gonna get with this fragrance is quite a sweet, smoky, creamy, woody scent. To me, it almost could smell like Palo Santo, like burning Palo Santo, or even lots of sandalwood as well. So for me, there is definitely that creamy Palo Santo sandalwood vibe in here, mixed with a heavy dose of sweetness. This fragrance is very, very sweet actually. And it also feels simultaneously quite dry at the same time as being creamy. So it's very interesting. and it's obviously very woody and slightly smoky too. So I have seen some comparisons to Jazz Club. Not Jazz Club, By the Fireplace. Personally, I don't see that comparison so much, but I really enjoy this fragrance. If you like woody scents, if you don't like woody scents, I would not recommend this fragrance at all because it is very woody, but definitely check this one out just for the curiosity of it, because it's a really interesting and unique fragrance in my opinion. So Bois Talisman from Dior, absolutely love it, and it lasts forever on my skin. When I wore it, I've worn it about 3 times since owning it, and it probably lasts around the 8-hour mark for me personally. Next fragrance is a gourmand, and this is a photo-realistic gourmand, and the reason that I'm including it, even though it's not the type of fragrance that I pull for very often, the reason that I'm talking about it is because I really think they managed to capture such a photorealistic gourmand, and it actually shocked me when I first smelled it. This is Gelatino from Gleam. Now, this is the sister brand to Gritty. This fragrance is inspired by gelato, like the waffle cone, the gelato ice cream, and that is exactly what you get with this scent. To me, this smells like the waffle cone completely. And it is airy and fluffy and sweet, but it also has that savoriness that a waffle cone does have. There is, like, it's just crazy, this fragrance. You have that waffle cone accord, you also have like a ice cream accord in here, lots of vanilla, hazelnut, etc. But the thing that stops it from being sickly to me is the fact that it's not overly sweet. You're more getting, like I said, that waffle cone gourmand. It's not as much of like a sickly sweet vanilla ice cream scent that smells milky and messy, and it's not like that. It is literally the waffle cone. So keep that in mind when you go and try this fragrance. It has an airiness to it, it has a fluffiness to it, it's sweet but it's savory at the same time. It's very loud, it lasts a long time on the skin. It's a really interesting gourmand, so that's why I wanted to talk about it, because I know a lot of people love gourmands. You definitely should try Gelatino from Gleam. I think you will fall in love with this one if you're looking for a very realistic gourmand. So the last fragrance that I wanted to touch on is more of an affordable one for you guys, which I know is quite a rarity on my channel. But I really love this brand and this collection. This is from Ajmal Parfums, and the fragrance is Chapter 1 from their new Untold Stories collection, which I attended the event for them in Dubai, and it was absolutely beautiful. Probably one of the most beautiful events I ever went to. And if you guys don't know Ajmal, it's a very well-respected brand in the perfume industry, because they actually have been in the industry for a very long time, and they supply oud to all the different fragrance houses and brands. So they're very well respected here. And this new collection is a big step up from what they've previously done. So that's why I wanted to recommend it to you guys, the entire collection. If you can manage to get some samples or try them, they are a really good price. But Chapter 1 is one of my absolute favorites because it's a beautiful sandalwood with lots of cashmeran. You also have some fig in here and cardamom. So if you like fragrances along the lines of Gris Charnel, I feel like you might like Chapter 1. They're not the same, they don't smell the same, they're not even close, but there is a similar profile there. You have a lot of sandalwood here, you do get a little bit of that spicy cardamom and a creamy green fig in here. So it is absolutely beautiful. Definitely recommend this one. Longevity and projection is okay on my skin. I would say I get around 7 hours of decent wear with a minimal projection, but this collection from Ajmal, I definitely recommend it to you guys. That is it. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I'm sorry that it was so long. Let me know in the comments what are some new releases that you guys fell in love with, because I would love to know. I don't know how you guys feel about the perfume industry right now, but I do feel like it's overwhelming, and I don't try to keep up with all the newness. You guys will see from my channel that I never just review a new release, because to me that feels a little bit gimmicky, and for me I just like to focus on quality things that I really enjoy. But with that being said, if there is a new release that impressed you, let me know in the comments so that I can go and try it. I love you guys so much, and I will see you soon. Bye.